You think you know the Tower of London? Think again. For all its dark legends and grim reputation, the vast majority of its infamous executions didn't even happen inside its formidable walls. Instead, this thousand-year-old fortress served far more complex, and often stranger, purposes than just a royal prison, from a medieval zoo to a top-secret observatory, all while silently shaping the destiny of an entire nation. Welcome to Extrano Chronicles, where we peel back the layers of history to reveal the untold stories of the past. Our journey begins not with a prisoner, but with a conqueror. In 1066, William the Conqueror seized the English throne, and within a decade, he began constructing what would become the very heart of the Tower. The White Tower. This colossal stone keep, completed around 1078, wasn't merely a defensive structure. It was a stark, brutal declaration of Norman power, a visible symbol of dominance over a newly conquered people. Imagine the sheer terror and awe it must have inspired in the Anglo-Saxon populace, towering over the wooden city of London. But here's a crucial detail often overlooked. The tower was never just one building. It's a complex, a sprawling concentric fortress that grew over centuries, each monarch adding their mark, their layer of defense and intrigue. Edward I, in particular, dramatically expanded the tower in the late 13th century, creating the formidable outer walls and the iconic Traitor's Gate, through which so many unfortunates would pass. This gate, incidentally, originally allowed access directly from the River Thames, a chilling entry point for those accused of treason. And treason, of course, is what most people associate with the tower. Its stone walls whisper tales of monarchs deposed, queens beheaded, and princes vanished. Take Anne Boleyn, for instance, accused of adultery, incest, and treason by her husband Henry VIII. She was brought to the Tower in 1536. Her final words, delivered on the scaffold on Tower Green on May 19, 1536, were dignified, if not entirely submissive. "Good Christian people, I am come hither to die. For according to the law and by the law I am judged to die. And therefore I will speak nothing against it." A chilling end for a queen, but a relatively rare one for the tower itself. Because here's the shocking truth. While Tower Hill, just outside the fortress walls, saw hundreds executed publicly, the number executed inside the tower was remarkably small, perhaps fewer than 100 in its entire history. These were almost exclusively high-ranking nobles, women, or those whose deaths the monarchy wished to keep private, away from the prying eyes of the populace. Their executions, often by axe, were a grim, private affair, a stark contrast to the spectacles on Tower Hill. This nuance fundamentally changes our understanding of its true purpose. So, if it wasn't primarily a public execution ground, what was it? For centuries, the Tower of London was a royal palace. Kings and queens resided here, held court, and even celebrated lavish feasts. It was a secure base of operations, the heart of royal power, but its functions extended far beyond just a residence and a prison. You probably didn't know this, but for over 600 years, the tower housed the royal menagerie, a collection of exotic animals gifted to the English monarchy. It began in 1235, when Emperor Frederick II presented Henry III with 3 lions, a rather unusual housewarming gift. Over the centuries, the collection grew to include polar bears, elephants, kangaroos, and even a grizzly bear that was allowed to fish in the Thames on a long chain. Imagine strolling past the White Tower and hearing the roar of a lion or the trumpeting of an elephant. This menagerie, a symbol of royal prestige and global reach, predated London Zoo by centuries, finally being moved to Regent's Park in 1835. But the tower's secrets don't stop there. It was also, for centuries, the Public Record Office, safeguarding the most vital documents of the realm. Everything from treaties to parliamentary records, legal documents to royal charters, was stored within its thick stone walls. This wasn't just a prison. It was the National Archive, the memory of England itself. Imagine the countless secrets, the untold stories, locked away in parchment and ink, guarded by yeoman warders. Another lesser-known fact. The tower was a key center for scientific and military innovation. The Board of Ordnance, responsible for the king's armaments, operated from the tower for centuries. They conducted experiments, developed new weaponry, and even established an observatory on top of the White Tower in the late 17th century, predating the Royal Observatory at Greenwich. This was a place of cutting-edge technology and strategic planning, not just medieval dungeons. And what about the crown jewels? They've been stored and displayed at the tower for over 350 years. Symbols of monarchical power and continuity. But their presence hasn't always been secure. In one of the most audacious heists in English history, in 1671, a rogue Irish adventurer named Colonel Thomas Blood attempted to steal them. Dressed as a parson, Blood and his accomplices managed to seize the orb, scepter, and crown from the Martin Tower. They were mere moments from escaping when they were caught. But here's the crazy part. King Charles II not only pardoned Blood but granted him an estate in Ireland, perhaps amused by his sheer audacity. It's a tale that sounds too outlandish to be true. Yet it is a documented fact. The tower's history is, of course, peppered with political intrigue and famous prisoners. Guy Fawkes, the architect of the gunpowder plot, was famously tortured within its walls in 1605, refusing to give up his co-conspirators for days. It was here that he signed his confession with a shaky, almost illegible hand, a testament to the brutal methods employed. Sir Walter Raleigh spent 13 years imprisoned here, during which he wrote his monumental History of the World. The tower was a cage. Yes, but for some, it became an unlikely place of intellectual pursuit. Perhaps no mystery is more enduring than that of the princes in the tower. In 1483, Edward V, just 12 years old, and his younger brother Richard, Duke of York, were lodged in the Bloody Tower, ostensibly for their safety, by their uncle Richard, Duke of Gloucester. Soon after, Richard declared himself King Richard III, and the boys were never seen again. Their fate remains one of history's most tantalizing unsolved puzzles. A chilling reminder of the ruthless power struggles that unfolded within these walls. Did Richard III have them murdered? Or was it someone else? The bones found in 1674, believed to be theirs, only deepen the enigma. Even in the 20th century, the tower continued its grim duty. During both World Wars, it housed prisoners, including German spies. The very last person executed at the tower was Joseph Jacobs, a German spy, shot by firing squad on August 15, 1941. During World War II, a stark reminder that its role as a place of incarceration and execution, though rare for public figures, persisted into modern times. Today, the Tower of London stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, guarded by its iconic beefeaters, the yeoman warders, who continue their ancient traditions. The ravens. 2. Remain. Their presence believed to guarantee the safety of the crown. Legend says if the ravens ever leave the tower, the kingdom will fall. It's a potent symbol, a living link to 1,000 years of history, myth, and enduring power, from its origins as a brutal Norman stronghold to a royal palace, a menagerie, a national archive, a scientific hub, and a place of both justice and injustice. The Tower of London is far more than just a prison. It's a microcosm of English history, a silent witness to countless pivotal moments, a testament to power, intrigue, and survival. Its stones hold secrets that continue to fascinate and challenge our perceptions of the past. What other hidden truths lie beneath its ancient foundations? Subscribe to Extrano Chronicles for more untold history.